Let me ask you something real. Are you building a profitable business or just an expensive activity? Many businesses do not fail from a lack of effort. They struggle with pricing, weak systems, and an overemphasis on appearing successful rather than staying sustainable. Business success is not about how much you make, it is about how well you manage what you keep. Could you stick with me? After the intro, we are diving into something I call the ecosystem thinking, the now model, and how to build a business that survives, sustains, and scales in any economy. I will be right back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Welcome to the Pulse, where the paper gets cracking. Creativity and strategy make it all happen. You ain't gotta sell, just market with flair. Put your brand on the map and leave them in despair. Smooth as jazz notes, the deals get closed. Ideas flowing like rivers, watch them explode. Through each campaign, we paint with precision. No need for selling, just spark the vision. Creativity reigns, we master the plan. From concept to launch, we make the stand. Strategies tight, rhythm in check. Welcome to the Pulse, where we break the neck.
Happy Marketing Monday, fans, and welcome back to the Pulse of Marketing. I'm your host, Coach LJ, and you already know the vibe. You don't have to know how to sell, but you do have to know how to market. This is the space where I help quiet builders escape high culture and build sustainable businesses through clarity, systems, consistency, and purpose without burnout or losing their voice. Today's episode is called Why Most Businesses Stay Broke in 2026. Build smarter, not louder. And let me be honest with you. The goal is not to build fast. It is to construct flexibility. Speed without sustainability does not create success. It creates stress. I learned that firsthand while building the Now Academy and the Now University, choosing between platforms that look impressive and the ones that actually gave me control, freedom, and peace. That is when it clicked. Looking polished does not build power. Position does. So here's the question I want you to sit with today. Are you building based on what looks successful or what stays sustainable? And before the break, we talk about a truth many entrepreneurs learn too late. Looking successful is not the same as building something sustainable. Flexibility will always beat flash when it comes to long-term growth. And now I want to take you deeper into something that completely changed how I create and how I think about business. It is a mindset, a structure, and a strategy all in one. I call it ecosystem thinking, the now model. Because here's the truth. If your business does not feed itself, it will starve in silence. The power of ecosystem thinking. Have you ever noticed how some companies seem to never run out of momentum? Even when the economy shifts, trends fade, or competitors pop up, because they will. They keep growing. That is not luck. That is ecosystem thinking. See, most entrepreneurs, especially in our community, operate in silos rather than in harmony. They start a business, launch a product, or post content that does not connect to anything else they do. So every January, they start from scratch again. A new audience, a new product, and new stress. However, savvy entrepreneurs build systems that stack, not scatter. Too many businesses are busy but not built. They are chasing revenue, not relationship. And when you build in isolation without integration, every new idea drains more energy than it creates. According to McKinsey and Company's growth report, companies that design integrated ecosystems where products, services, and communities reinforce each other grow 1.8 times faster than their competitors. That is because teamwork multiplies results. Your content drives your community. Your community drives your sales. Your sales fund your next idea. That is the loop, the noun loop. When I started building the Noun Academy, the Noun University, and the Quit or Shut Up movement, I was not just stacking projects. I was creating an ecosystem that feeds itself. The Academy became the entry point for young leaders and students beginning their journey. The Noun University became a place of continual learning for entrepreneurs and professionals where they sharpen their business skills. And Quit or Shut Up. That is the heartbeat, the meshes that fuse both. Each one connects. Each one flows into the other. So I am not starting over every year. I am just expanding the ecosystem. Now, that is not just clever marketing. That is a sustainable strategy. Think about Disney. They do not just make movies, they build worlds. Their films feed their theme parks. Their parks sell their merchandise. Their merchandise fuels nostalgia. And that nostalgia sells the next movie. That is not random. That is ecosystem design. Same with Apple. The iPhone connects to the MacBook, which connects to iCloud, which connects to Apple Music, which connects to your wallet. Every product, every experience, and every message flows into the next. According to the Harvard Business Review, companies that adopt an ecosystem-based growth model increase customer retention by 40% and achieve 25% higher profit margins on average because their audience is not just buying a product, they are buying a journey. And here's where it gets powerful for small business owners and entrepreneurs like us. You do not need $1 billion budget to do this. You need alignment. So let me ask you this. Is your business connected or are you starting over every year? Does your product lead to your next service? Does your content lead people into your community? Does your brand have a clear journey from entry point to transformation? Let me know in the comments. I would like to hear your thoughts. If not, that is where your opportunity lives. Let us make it practical because I do not just want to inspire you. I want to equip you. Here is your 4-step game plan to start building your own business ecosystem. You can start with the core problem you solve. So what is the one thing your audience needs from you the most? You can build your first offer around solving that. Then create a pathway, not just a product. Your business should guide people from awareness to learning to transformation. Example, free workshop to a paid course, to a community, and then to a mentorship. After, make every product feed the next. Do not just sell secrets. Your blog can promote your podcast. Your podcast can promote your boot camp. Your boot camp can promote your mastermind. Everything connects. And lastly, keep it lean and aligned. Use affordable, flexible tools like Heartbeat, Canva, or ChatGPT to create flow without debt. Build slowly, test often, and let your results guide your next step. This week, draw a simple flow chart of your business. Ask yourself, where does my audience go next after they experience my brand? If the answer is nowhere, start designing that next.
Stop guessing, start building. The real blueprint to launch and grow your business in 2026. What's up, family? Welcome. Let me ask you something real. Have you ever felt like you're doing everything, watching videos, saving content, taking notes, but still not getting results? You've got ideas, you've got motivation, you've got potential, but something is missing. And it's frustrating because deep down, you know you're capable of more. Today, I'm going to show you why that's happening, and more importantly, how to fix it. Because today is not about motivation. Today is about structure, execution, and results. Let's call it what it is. Most people are not failing because they lack talent. They're failing because they lack 4 things. Clarity. You don't fully know what to build, whom to serve, and how to position yourself. So you keep starting and restarting. Next, they lack structure. You've got ideas, but no system. So your business looks like random content, inconsistent action, and no clear path to money. Then there's execution discipline. You're motivated one day, stuck the next, without consistency, and nothing compounds. And finally, this is the big one, they're building alone. Let's be real, building alone is hard. No feedback, no accountability, or no guidance. So you overthink, delay, and doubt yourself. Information is not your problem, direction is. Let me take you back for a second. I've been there, trying to figure it out, trying different things, second guessing myself, and what I realized was this. I didn't need more information, I needed a system. That's what changed everything, and that's why I built what I'm about to share with you today. Most people build like this: idea, action, confusion, then quit. But successful builders move like this: identity, clarity, structure, execution, then results. You don't build a business first, you build a builder. That's why people fail every 90 days. Not because they lack talent, but because they lack identity, alignment, and systems. So the question becomes, what does it actually take to build the right way? That's where this comes in. This is not a course. This is a system for transformation. What it gives you. It gives clarity. What business to build, whom to target, and how to position. It also gives structure. A step-by-step roadmap, systems for marketing and sales, and a real execution framework. Along with execution, weekly action steps, accountability, and real-world application that includes a community where you're not building alone. You're surrounded by people who are building, growing, and holding each other accountable inside the boot camp we focus on. Purpose. Why are you building? Product. What are you offering? People. Who are you serving? Process. How do you deliver consistently? Profit. How do you make money and scale? This is where most people get stuck. You'll have clarity in all 5. Let's address what you're thinking right now. I don't have enough money. That's exactly why you need structure, because staying stuck costs more. I don't have enough time. You don't need more time. You need better direction. I'm not ready yet. You don't get ready first. You get started, then grow into it. So here's the move. If you're serious, if you're tired of guessing, and if you're ready to build with clarity, then join the Total Business Access Bootcamp. This is where ideas become structured, structure becomes execution, and execution becomes results. And remember, you don't have to do this alone anymore. Let me leave you with this. The life you want, the business you see in your head, and the impact you know you're capable of. It's not far away, but it does require a decision a decision to stop watching and start building. So the real question is, are you going to keep waiting or step into your next opportunity? Let's build.
Now, fam, ecosystem thinking is how you stop chasing growth and start creating it. However, let us be real. Building a system is only one part of the equation. The other part, knowing what fuels that system, and that is your numbers. Because if you do not know your numbers, you will never know if your ecosystem is actually working or quietly draining you dry. So up next, I believe that's me. Let us talk about something that separates the hustlers from the builders to know your numbers, not just your niche. We are going to break down the difference between passion and profitability and how to track the matrix that actually move your business forward. The hustle without the math. Let me ask you something. Have you ever looked at your bank account at the end of a busy month and thought, I work hard, but where did the money go? Yeah, that is the sound of untracked energy. We were grinding, but not growing. See, too many entrepreneurs know their niche, who they serve, what they sell, but have no idea what it actually costs to serve them. And that is a problem because your niche can tell you who to market to, but your numbers tell you whether you will survive doing it. According to a U.S. Small Business Administration, 82% of small business owners do not track profitability monthly. They might check revenue, but not profit. They celebrate deposits, but ignore expenses. They track sales, but not time. And that is dangerous because numbers do not just tell the story of your business, they tell the truth. If you do not know your break even point, you cannot tell if your pricing is sustainable. If you do not know your cost per customer, you cannot tell if your ads are working. And if you do not know your profit margins, you are not building, you are just busy. I want to take you behind the scenes for a second. When I started building the Now Academy and the Now University, I was creating content, coaching sessions, and resources nonstop. However, one day I sat down and calculated how much time I was spending versus how much I was actually earning. And fam, that number changed my whole approach. I realized that some of my best content, the kind that took me 10 hours to produce, was bringing in less ROI than a 60-minute consulting call. That was the wake-up call because passion without pricing awareness equals burnout. I had to learn how to work on the business, not just in it. Let us look at a few real-life brands that got this right. Take Robinhood, for example. They did not try to outspend their competitors. They built lean. While other fintech startups were raising billions and burning cash, Robinhood focused on controlling costs and maintaining minimal debt. According to Forbes, Robinhood's low overhead model gave them leverage, allowing them to expand while others collapse. Or you could think about Chick-fil-A. They are not the cheapest restaurant, but they know their numbers down to the source of package. Their franchises average 8.1 million in annual revenue per location. That is not by luck. That is because they master efficiency, consistency, and pricing alignment. Here is what the research says. Harvard Business Review found that businesses that track key financial metrics weekly rather than monthly are 50% more likely to achieve sustained profitability within their first 5 years. The Profit First Institute reported that small businesses implementing a Profit First system where you pay yourself and profit before expenses saw an average 25% increase in savings and owner pay within 1 year. That is powerful because it proves a simple truth. Numbers create clarity. Clarity creates confidence. And confidence creates control. So here's my question for you. How much is 1 hour of your time really worth? Could you drop in the comments? Are you charging for your labor or your value? Are you tracking what you earn per project or what you keep per month? Because here is the truth. You cannot scale what you do not measure. Let me make it practical because this is where you turn awareness into alignment. Here is your 3-step game plan to start tracking your numbers like a CEO, even on a budget. You must know your break-even point. Calculate your fixed cost, rent, software, labor, plus valuable costs, materials, ads. Example, if it costs $3,000 per month to run your business, you need to make at least $3,000 before you profit a penny. Next, use the Profit First system. Every dollar that comes in should be divided as follows. 50% goes to expenses, 30% to the owner's pay, 15% to profit, and 5% to taxes. This forces your business to pay you first, not last. Then, track 3 key metrics weekly. Revenue, what came in, expenses, what went out, and profit margin, what stayed. You can do this in a free Google Sheet or use tools like Wave, Notion, or QuickBooks Self-Employed. This week, try tracking your business finances every Friday for 1 month. Watch how your decision making changes when you see where your money's actually going. Now, fam, here's the truth. Numbers do not lie. For real. Numbers do not lie. They tell you whether you are surviving or scaling. But here is the twist. Even when you know your numbers, your mindset can still make or break your longevity because numbers build wealth, but humility builds legacy. So up next, we are diving into something every entrepreneur eventually learns the hard way, the humility of longevity. We are going to talk about why the entrepreneurs who last are the ones who stay teachable, flexible, and faithful to the process, even when no one is clapping. What happens when the applause fades? Let me ask you something real. What happens when the lights stop, the sales slow, and nobody is sharing your post anymore? Most people panic. We could look at COVID. What happened during the COVID-19 pandemic? People was getting applause. People was making money. People was doing well. Then what happened when things start normalizing? The money started drying. People wasn't employing like they used to. And then people started panicking. They were like, oh man, what happened? The money. But guess what? The ones who last, they pivot. They don't cry. They pivot. The ones that last a pandemic or any crisis, financial collapse, the ones who last are the ones who pivot. They don't cry. They don't cry. They don't like, they pivot. See, humility is not weakness. It is wisdom. It is knowing when to slow down, listen, and learn again. Because pride kills more businesses than competition ever could. Too many entrepreneurs, especially in our community, get caught chasing applause instead of alignment. They start strong, but when results slow down, they think it is over. Here's the wild part. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, 45% of small businesses fail within the first 5 years, not just because of money, but because of a stagnant mindset. Entrepreneurs stop learning, they stop adapting, they stop listening to the people they serve. That is the hidden cause of ego. Because when your ego grows faster than your empathy, your business begins to shrink. You know, I have seen this play out firsthand. I have coached people who had all the tools, all the talent, but they did not have the humility to pivot when the market shifted. They say, nah, Coach LJ, my way works until it did not. I have been there myself as I continue to position and lay the foundation for the Now Academy and the Now University that will scale gracefully. I wanted to move fast, new systems, new platforms, new everything. However, life checked me. And it's going to check you too. Believe me, trust me, it will check you too. I realized growth is not just about adding, it is about aligning. That is why I decided to switch everything to Heartbeat. Not because it was flashy, even though it is no slouch, but because it was flexible. It was not about what made me look successful, it was about what helped me stay sustainable and whole, building to scale. And that is humility, learning to build with patience, not pressure. Look at Rihanna and Fenty. When she launched Fenty Beauty in 2017, it was not an overnight sprint to a billion. It was a strategy. She paced her growth. She built cultural credibility and focused on representation before expansion. According to Forbes, Fenty exclusive product strategy helped her achieve 582 million in revenue with its first year, not by chasing trends, but by meeting needs. That is humility in motion. Listening to your audience and building with intention. According to Harvard Business Review, companies that prioritize adaptability and continuous learning over aggressive scaling see 33% longer business lifespans and 25% higher employee retention. Why? Because humility attracts longevity. Please let me know if you are willing to listen to feedback. You are open to evolving with your audience, and you make decisions based on purpose, not pride. That is what separates legacy brands from loud brands. I just wanted to ask you this, and I would like you to drop it in the comments. Are you chasing applause or alignment? Do you want to look successful for a season or be impactful for a generation? It's your choice. It's your choice. Do you want to look successful on the gram, showing all the glamour, showing all the cars, you can show all that, and build a business during COVID? without structure, and then whenever they normalize, you're gone? Or do you want to build slowly and smartly that will scale gracefully that will last to generations? Which one you want to choose? So it's your decision. My goal is to help you and to teach you how to build it gracefully and to scale that will be able to be passed down from one generation to the next and to the next generation. That's my goal, is to teach you to build legacy and to pass your business down if you choose to. If you choose to build your business down to your children's children. That's the goal. Teach you how to set it up so that you're able to build it the right way. Because every empire that fell started with ego, not economy. Let me say that again. Let me say that again. Let me say, for those that are not listening, for those feel like, you know what, that can't put their pride down. Let me say that again. Even look at in the Bible, scripture. Lucifer fell because of his pride. Lucifer was kicked out of heaven because of his pride. And so every empire that fell started with ego, not the economy. So you can't blame the economy. You can't even blame the government. You can't blame anything. You had to look at your stuff. You had to take responsibility of who you are and what you are capable of doing. You had to take responsibility of what you are doing today. Because every empire that is built today and that fell today, they started, it fell because of ego, not the economy. And here's how you can apply this right now, even on a budget. Let us begin with auditing your costs quarterly by looking at every expense and asking, does this serve my mission or just my image? Cut anything that does not align with your message or long-term goals. It is a must that you stay teachable, read one business or leadership book a month, follow entrepreneurs who have built over decades or those with multiple business degrees, not just those who went viral last year. And lastly, practice strategic patience. Do not rush every launch. Build in phases, like a house. Foundation first, then the walls, then the deco. According to McKinsey, phased growth models increase success rates by 47% compared to all at once scaling. So it happened in phases, step by step by step. This week, I would like for you to do this for me. This week, could you write down one area of your business where pride has been louder than purpose? Then make one humble pivot. If it might be asking for help, delegating a task, or slowing down to listen to your audience again. Now, fam, I know this one hit a little different because humility is not always glamorous, but it is always profitable in the long run. And here's the thing, the ones who stay humble are the ones who remain in the game. As we close, here's the truth that ties everything together. Growth without discipline is expensive, but growth with intention builds legacy. I gotta say that again for real. Growth without discipline is expensive, but growth with intention builds legacy. And the goal is not to build something that looks rich. It is to build something that lasts. Come on, type in the chat. Just use your emoji. Just put 100. Everyone just blow it up. Just put 100, 100, or say I agree. I agree with Coach LJ. Put 100, put a clause, whatever how you want to do it. Come on, because growth without discipline is expensive. But growth with intention build legacy. And the goal is not to build something that looks rich on the gram or on social. It is to build something that lasts. If you can control your course, you can create your freedom. Because real success is not flashy, it is functional. So remember this: price with clarity, build with humility, and market with integrity. That combination does not just pay you, it positions you for peace, opportunity, and longevity. Let me ask you something real. Could you tell me if you are building to impress or to impact? One phase, the other compounds. Everything we talk about today, pricing, structure, sustainability, is exactly what we walk through together inside the Now University and our Total Business Assets Bootcamp. This is not a course where you are left alone after the video ends. It is a community and mentorship experience where I walk with you step by step, helping you build systems that protect your profits. Price with confidence, not fear. Market with purpose, not panic. And grow without losing yourself in the process. If this episode spoke to you, if you are tired of guessing and ready to build smarter, this is your next step. You do not have to figure this out alone. I will be right there with you. The link is in the description. Thank you for rocking with me on this Marketing Monday episode of the Pulse of Marketing. If this conversation sparked something in you, here's how to keep the momentum going. Subscribe to the show. Follow for daily encouragement and strategy. And share this episode with someone ready to build smarter, not just harder. And stay locked in, because next week we are diving into why loud brands fail in 2026. Quiet builders win long term. We are shifting from hype to loyalty, trust, and lasting relationships. Until next time, stay visible, stay valuable, and stay ready, because your next opportunity window is now. And as I always remind you, that you don't have to know how to sell, but you do have to know how to market. This is Coach LJ, and I would like to let you know that if you want to start a community, start a business, I do have an affiliate link in the description for the Heartbeat app. It's $49 a month. So if you're ready to build your community, grow your brand, and attract the right audience into your community and promote that community, join the Heartbeat app. The link is in the description, and you know what's coming next. Deuces! Hey!
Stop guessing, start building. The real blueprint to launch and grow your business in 2026. What's up, family? Welcome. Let me ask you something real. Have you ever felt like you're doing everything, watching videos, saving content, taking notes, but still not getting results? You've got ideas, you've got motivation, you've got potential, but something is missing. And it's frustrating because deep down, you know you're capable of more. Today, I'm going to show you why that's happening, and more importantly, how to fix it. Because today is not about motivation. Today is about structure, execution, and results. Let's call it what it is. Most people are not failing because they lack talent. They're failing because they lack 4 things. Clarity. You don't fully know what to build, whom to serve, and how to position yourself. So you keep starting and restarting. Next, they lack structure. You've got ideas, but no system. So your business looks like random content, inconsistent action, and no clear path to money. Then there's execution discipline. You're motivated one day, stuck the next, without consistency, and nothing compounds. And finally, this is the big one, they're building alone. Let's be real, building alone is hard. No feedback, no accountability, or no guidance. So you overthink, delay, and doubt yourself. Information is not your problem, direction is. Let me take you back for a second. I've been there, trying to figure it out, trying different things, second guessing myself, and what I realized was this. I didn't need more information, I needed a system. That's what changed everything, and that's why I built what I'm about to share with you today. Most people build like this: idea, action, confusion, then quit. But successful builders move like this: identity, clarity, structure, execution, then results. You don't build a business first, you build a builder. That's why people fail every 90 days. Not because they lack talent, but because they lack identity, alignment, and systems. So the question becomes, what does it actually take to build the right way? That's where this comes in. This is not a course. This is a system for transformation. What it gives you. It gives clarity. What business to build, whom to target, and how to position. It also gives structure. A step-by-step roadmap, systems for marketing and sales, and a real execution framework. Along with execution, weekly action steps, accountability, and real-world application that includes a community where you're not building alone. You're surrounded by people who are building, growing, and holding each other accountable inside the boot camp we focus on. Purpose. Why are you building? Product. What are you offering? People. Who are you serving? Process. How do you deliver consistently? Profit. How do you make money and scale? This is where most people get stuck. You'll have clarity in all five. Let's address what you're thinking right now. I don't have enough money. That's exactly why you need structure, because staying stuck costs more. I don't have enough time. You don't need more time. You need better direction. I'm not ready yet. You don't get ready first. You get started, then grow into it. So here's the move. If you're serious, if you're tired of guessing, and if you're ready to build with clarity, then join the Total Business Access Bootcamp. This is where ideas become structured, structure becomes execution, and execution becomes results. And remember, you don't have to do this alone anymore. Let me leave you with this. The life you want, the business you see in your head, and the impact you know you're capable of. It's not far away, but it does require a decision to stop watching and start building. So the real question is, are you going to keep waiting or step into your next opportunity? Let's build.